Kick off the new year, we are going to be talking all things medical directives and medical power of attorneys. Yes, they are two different things. So my goal for you is in 2025 to really stay on top of your estate planning, right? This is something that so many of us push to the bottom of that never-ending to-do list. And so I'm going to be doing a lot of videos this year covering different estate planning topics and helping you prepare for that time of life whenever it may come. And so the goal is to be empowered rather than to fear this time of life because estate planning really can be empowering. We're going to talk about one of those ways today, which is those medical directives and medical power of attorneys. So to start with, let's talk about the medical power of attorney. You've probably heard of power of attorney before, but there are different areas that you can have a power of attorney for your financial area, your medical choices. And so this is the person that you are going to appoint to make medical decisions on your behalf. Now, any power of attorney can either be springing or it can be durable. And by this, springing literally means, and this is how I love to remember it and explain to clients, is spring into action. Unless you are incapacitated or a judge would rule that you cannot make decisions for yourself, this person then springs into action when you can no longer make these decisions for yourself. That's when their powers come into play. Until that moment, they can't make any choices for you. Then there's also a durable power of attorney. Durable power of attorney, we're going to stick to the medical speaking today. Durable power of attorney, say that 10 times fast, is it means that they have the power to make medical decisions for you at any turn in the road, right? So it may not be that you are incapacitated. This person can step in and say, hey, no, this is the choice that we want to make. Some people do this with their elderly parents to help them and guide them in these decisions, or there are other circumstances where this may make sense if you have a declining health situation. However, you need to think about the person that you are appointing and what type of power you would want them to have. And make sure you're communicating with this person your wishes and what you would want to happen. If you don't feel comfortable doing so and you really want to make sure that you are able to make all of these decisions, even when you might not be in the right mindset to do so, this is when a medical directive comes into play. Now, a medical directive is one of those things that can be very empowering, but also a little scary and overwhelming. Personally, when I sat down with my attorney to do mine, he gave me all of these different situations and scenarios and said, what would you want to happen in this case? What would you want to happen in that one? And you may never cover every single case that may happen, but the goal is to cover a lot of the different common areas that we see happening. One big question that you'll be asked for a medical directive is, are you an organ donor? So you may have it on your license. Whatever you have on your license, you may then either want to change it if you say yes or no, and just have them match into your medical directive. And so that's a good guidance on that one. Another big question is life support. Would you want to be on life support or a ventilator for any period of time? You can also choose how long that would be, which is something I chose for myself is I sat for a while and thought about what felt right, and then I decided a certain amount of time at which it would then be appropriate to pull the plug, as they say in Grey's Anatomy. The other big question is, would you want to be resuscitated? That's a big one, especially too, if you go into a hospital, they ask if you have, it's called DNR, do not resuscitate. That is something you can communicate into your medical directive, and you can even get more detailed. Are there certain types of drugs that you would never want to receive or prescriptions? Are there certain types of medical procedures that you're not open to having? One question my attorney asked me is if I would be open to any test or trial treatments, right? They may not be um, common practice right now, but they are in the research phase. Would I be open to these research phase drugs? Keep in mind that everything we are going to be covering through this estate planning topic are things that you should also be working with your entire financial team. Make sure you're discussing this with your lawyers, your accountant, and your financial advisor, and maybe even if your insurance person is someone different. Make sure this is all cohesive and coming together. The goal of all estate planning was for it to empower you and also to help your loved ones should something happen and you aren't able to make these choices. My goal, like I said, is for you to move this up on that never-ending to-do list and get this done in 2025. So make sure you are following along for our future episodes covering different topics. And don't worry, We have so many things outside of estate planning too that we will be covering this year, and I am so excited that you are here, and I wish you a happy and healthy new year. Let's kick off the new year.